If you're the one who sees others but feels profoundly invisible and have your whole life and you feel like your depth is unnoticed and wasted, we are changing that today with this perspective shift. We're getting real in this episode about the opportunity that you have been missing within this challenge of feeling invisible, of feeling like you're too much, whatever, however you define this invisibility, so that way you can finally step in to your wholeness, into your power, into that unshakable strength that comes from wholeness, okay? From seeing yourself so fucking clearly. So let's talk about it. And by the way, I am Reverend Hannah Mason. Welcome to the first official episode of the Tapping Club. I'm over the moon excited. I've been sick for 2 weeks waiting to do my first episode since I decided to start this podcast. So I am super excited that I finally get to show up for you guys. This episode, or this entire podcast, is going to be about tapping the emotional freedom technique, which we'll learn about as we go, and we'll tap together as we go. But really, it's about holding space for the deeper layers of ourselves that go unnoticed, that go ignored, that feel like they're not treated like they matter. We're talking about it here. We're bringing the deep stuff up to the surface so that way it can be looked at with love. So make sure you hit the subscribe button and stick around because you are not going to want to miss this podcast, okay? And if you ever have a topic or something that's hurting you, something that you're struggling with, and you want to know how to look at it differently from a higher perspective, from the perspective of unconditional love, from the perspective of wholeness, and the opportunity that it's offering, because I promise you it's always an opportunity, then go to thetapping.club. That's the website. There is no .com. Thetapping.club. And submit a request for an episode. All right? I'm here to support you guys. We are in this together. But okay, let's get into this episode. This particular episode, being the first one of the Tapping Club, hello, welcome. This episode is for those of you who have always done the seeing. You've always been the ones who are able to fully fucking hold space for people, right? You're able to see them deeply. You're able to understand them deeply. You're able to feel them, even beyond their capability of feeling themselves. You're the one that people come to vent, to get advice, to get that fresh perspective. That's who this episode is for. That's who this little message is going to be for today. Because I'm you. I am you. I am right there with you. I've always been the one who had the clarity for other people, who had the love, the unconditional love, that ability to hold the space so deeply that that person can finally accept something about themselves, right? I've been there. I am that person. I'm right there with you, my friend. But here's the thing. Something that I had to learn being that person, because I loved that about myself. I love that I could really connect with people in a way that they couldn't even connect with themselves. Like I found that to be very special. But, when you're giving that and giving that and giving that, it can feel really damaging. It can feel really sad and isolating when you go to someone and you want that same kind of space held for you, or you want someone to be able to look at you and see you fully and help you when you're feeling like you're down, you're struggling, right? And then no one's there. That's who I'm talking to today. Those people who feel isolated within themselves because they feel misunderstood. They feel like I can give this, but I'm not getting it. People can't give it back to me. No one will give it back to me because it hurts. And it really does hurt when we're looking at it strictly from that perspective. And that's where I feel like a lot of us start out in our lives. So it's my hope that this message that you hear today, it's my hope that it will give you some perspective on yourself and give you some hope, some renewed fire for this amazing part of yourself. Because I feel like, speaking from my experience, as much as I love that about myself, that depth and that ability to see, I've also been resentful towards it as well because it feels unreciprocated. But here's the thing, we don't have to fucking feel that way. That is not the landing space. That's not where we're supposed to stop. And so today I want you to walk away with a different perspective on what's actually being asked of you, to you, for you. Because this is something I had to learn. It took me a long time to learn this. But ultimately, you not feeling seen by those around you, it doesn't mean anything bad about you. It doesn't mean that life has just abandoned you in your depth, that it's just left you out there in the ocean by yourself to figure it out. I mean, don't get me wrong, it can look like that, it can feel like that. However, there's so much more to it than we think. There's so much more beauty that's being offered in this kind of dynamic where we don't feel as seen and as cherished as we probably deserve to. Ultimately, let's just get right to the fucking point here. The blessing, the opportunity that we don't always see when we're in the middle of this like feeling of isolation, when we're feeling misunderstood, when we're feeling like, oh, maybe I'm too much for the world because I have all this stuff that nobody else can carry with me or hold space for me even just a little bit. The opportunity here is genuine wholeness. Okay? And the reason why I say that is because there are so many people out here and you see it. You see it when you're listening to people. You see the fragmentation within themselves. You see the disconnection with themselves. Okay? You can see this. But it's also in you. It's also in you. When we're reaching out here for people to fill that void for us that we're feeling, to mend that pain inside, we're doing the same thing that they're doing. But the opportunity is to really, really root into yourself and be a whole ass fucking person. To really be self-sufficient internally. Because yes, I 100% believe that we are all completely connected at the deepest layer, right? But I do believe that we're here to have individual experiences of that wholeness that we all represent. And that means having a very deep, loving, unconditionally loving relationship with ourselves. It means being a whole being within ourselves, which is just symbolic of the wholeness of all of us as one. It's the macro and the micro kind of thing. So the gift here for you, my friend, those who see but don't feel seen, those who feel invisible and underappreciated, the medicine here is for you to become your own best friend. It's for you to give to yourself because you have the capability to do this, okay? I mean, we all do on some level, but not a lot of us didn't come here for that. But you came here for this, my friend. You came here for this. We have the ability, you have the ability to not just see others deeply, but to see yourself so fucking deep. And there is something, just speaking from experience here, there's something that, when we do this, when we take the time, when we prioritize ourselves above all else, I don't mean like shitting on people to better ourselves. I don't mean that. I mean making ourselves a top priority, filling up our own cup. When we do this, there is a quiet strength and confidence and sense of support that starts to develop. And that is what you're being offered here. That is the opportunity here. And it's the kind of strength that you can't get from tons and tons of external validation or money or what the fuck ever, success, friendships, whatever. You can't get this kind of rootedness from anything outside of yourself. And that's what that void is asking of you. That's what it's asking for. It's not asking, people, please love me. Please see me the way I see you. Please understand me. It's not asking for that. It's saying, hey, I can do this for myself. And the funny part is, the funny thing about this is that when we give this kind of unconditional love and self-witnessing to ourselves, we end up pulling in people who can do that. I know my whole life, I felt like I was living in a box, like I was living in a fucking dark closet. I could see out, but nobody could see in, if that makes any sense. And once I devoted myself to myself, and I made, every day when I get up, I made creating space for myself to hear what's going on inside, to really just like be there for myself as if I am for other people, Like if somebody comes to me and sits down and is like, I'm feeling this pain, I don't know what's going on or whatever, or I'm stressing about this thing, I'm not going to try to fix it. Maybe old Hannah would to try to fix it. We're not going to try to fix it. I'm going to sit there and hold space for you, and I'm going to make sure that you feel absolutely safe in that feeling. I'm going to make sure that you feel safe enough in the moment without doing anything, just being there, holding that fucking space. You're going to feel strong and you're going to feel capable of navigating that experience, that emotional experience without losing yourself to it. We can do that for ourselves. You don't need to wait for someone else to do this for you. And you're not supposed to. You're not supposed to. You're a leader. People like this are fucking leaders. And you're leading in something that the world needs most of all, which is emotional intelligence and emotional depth. By developing it within yourself, right? Not just giving it out. You got to give it to yourself first. That's why it can hurt sometimes when we give it out to people. When we don't have it, it feels like we don't have it ourselves because we're not giving it to ourselves. But the more you devote yourself to you, the more full you feel. The more it feels like a gift to yourself to give this to others. It feels rewarding. It feels like, oh my God, I'm being my true self. I'm being the best version of myself. I'm pouring out from a full fucking cup. I'm overflowing because you filled it up yourself. And the best part about this is it's something, the kind of love that comes from that, the kind of strength that comes from that self-devotion, no one can take it from you. No one's opinion of you, no one misunderstanding you, no one can take it from you because you are the fucking source of it. And that's something after dealing in my life, after dealing with very toxic people, very inconsistent, emotionally unstable people. I've been one of them too. Yes, I have. But, after experiencing so much of that, really pouring myself into people, and then those people being willing to shit on me beyond comprehension, that was so fucking painful. But every time it happened, it taught me who's got me. Who's got me? Well, none of these fuckers got me. So I guess I gotta have me. And that hurt at first, right? It felt lonely at first, but what I came to find is that wow, that's what I needed all along. I needed to pull back and I needed to focus on me. I needed to get to know me. I dove into understanding myself in every way that I could, at journaling, studying my astrology, human design, whatever you have access to, right? Just, or even talking to the damn AI chat GPT and just having it reflect you, letting it just mirror you so you can see yourself in a different perspective. Whatever it takes, just creating space for you. It's like this. It's, what I'm talking about in action. I'm talking about like, okay, I'm feeling anxious today. I have the urge. I wish I had someone to talk to. I have the urge to pick up the phone and call someone, but I know they're not going to be able to see me the way I need to be seen right now. Don't fucking pick up the phone. Sit down, put your hand on your heart, your hand on your stomach, whatever you need to do, whatever resonates with you. Go take a shower, fucking cry, and hold space for you as if you were a little child that was having a bad feeling, or as if you were your best friend or your family or whatever, however you would show up for that person. Show up for yourself like that. Don't judge it, don't fix it, don't try to change it, just be there. Like, man, I've got this pit in my stomach and I don't like it. Oh my God, I want to make it go away. But you know what? Instead of doing that, I'm going to sit here with it and I'm just going to be with it. I'm going to let it breathe through me. I'm going to trust this moment. I'm going to be here for myself because this is unconditional love. This is what life is doing for us every day, my friend. Every day, life is unconditionally loving us by showing us who we're choosing to be, by bringing us challenges and opportunities to grow into ourselves more and more, to see ourselves more clearly in how we respond to whatever's showing up in our lives. That's your biggest mirror, is how you respond. That is unconditional love. We are surrounded by it, but yet we don't know how to recognize it because we're not giving it to ourselves. And unconditional love literally just looks like being there, holding fucking space. The solution will come, but first you need to see it. You need to look at it. And it's uncomfortable, man. I swear. It's so uncomfortable Like, there's times that I wake up, I know this shit, I live this shit, I breathe it, but there's times that I wake up and I feel anxious and I'm like, I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to look at it. I don't want to look at these nasty thoughts in my head. I don't want to look at it. I just want to fucking ignore it. But that's what some of our parents did, right? That's what the people at school did. They saw us hurting and they ignored it because they didn't have the capacity. Well, this whole thing, this whole journey, you're expanding your capacity. For others, yes, but more so for yourself. Because people can't hold space for others in this way because they can't do it for themselves. They haven't done it for themselves. They could, they just haven't because it feels uncomfortable. But let me tell you what, that discomfort, that's where the strength is growing. It's like being in the fucking gym, lifting weights that feel too heavy to lift at first, right? Not that I'm speaking from a lot of experience from that. Just a general understanding. It's the same thing, same concept. That discomfort is not bad. It is just energy moving through your body and it just wants to be held. It wants space to breathe. And that's why tapping is such a big deal for me personally. That's why I started the tapping club because the tapping club is just about, I call it the club because I want to build a community around this. I want to bring awareness to the power of such a simple fucking modality of tapping on some points. And you help your body move those emotions through without getting lost in it. It's incredible. And that's what I encourage you to do. When this is feeling too heavy or whatever, if you have your own thing that you do, your own, like, some people just need to breathe. Some people need to run. Some people need to do some push-ups. Some people need to write. Some people need to do jumping jacks. I don't know. Dance, whatever. Me, I tap. I tap constantly. I probably tap more than I should, maybe. I don't know. I don't know if there's really a limit. Everything I've learned, I haven't heard anything about a limit. It's just really about how you feel, I guess. But, that's why I do it though, because I know that whenever I'm tapping, wherever I'm tapping, I know that I'm helping that emotion move. I know that I'm helping it move through me without getting stuck and wreaking havoc, which is what they do. They wreak fucking havoc when we don't process them. And that's part of what brings us into that depression, that sense of like nobody sees me, nobody cares about me. It's because we're not processing what we're feeling and we're not holding space for ourselves. So this is your invitation, not just to tap, because why not? I mean, come on, seriously, why the fuck not? Why wouldn't you tap? I bring up tapping to people probably more than they want me to. I can guarantee you more than they want me to. But like, why aren't you doing it? It's fucking easy and it helps you stop being a lunatic. What's wrong with you? I'm just keeping it real. But this is your invitation and your reminder that you have everything you need within you. And, you just taking some time for yourself every single fucking day, or especially when you're feeling bad, instead of sitting through it, instead of staying in situations that your body is screaming, I don't belong here. This isn't right for me. I'm not being held. This isn't a mutually, you know, beautiful situation here. I'm actually being drained. Just by taking some space for yourself and realizing that that's actually extremely important because your relationship with yourself is number one. Number fucking one. You are the gateway, you are the doorway into your world. And if that relationship is not being nurtured, everything else is not getting the best that it could. Might even be getting the worst. So this is your invitation to reprioritize yourself. That way you can amplify that beautiful gift that you have. Because let me tell you something, some people might not respond very well to your depth of sight, to your ability to see them, fuck them, whatever, it's their problem, not yours. But there's people out there who do need that from you. They want to be seen by you. But you got to be able to see you first. That way you don't get drained in the process. That way you don't feel isolated and lonely and misunderstood and unloved, because you're not any of those things. You are constantly being loved Life is literally fucking beating your heart every day, filling your lungs with oxygen every day. You are being loved. You are given life every day. And I know that life is hard sometimes. Trust me, I've been through it, my friends. I've been through it. I've had many a time where I felt like life, it would be easier to not be here. Maybe it would, but I'm here for a reason. We're here for a reason. So even though it doesn't seem like a gift all the time, it's up to us to find that gift. It's up to us to find that blessing. And I grew up in a place where, in the kind of world where there was no blessing, like everything was a curse. That's the perception that I was raised in. And so I say this as being someone who was handed a pile of shit and I turned it into something beautiful. And you can do the same thing. You're already doing it, I'm sure. But you need to do it more with you. You and you. Not you and everybody else. You and you. Sit down with you. Ask yourself, what do I need right now? What do I need to give myself right now? Do I just need to hold space? Do I need to fucking cry? Do I need to tap? Do I need to breathe? Do I need to express myself? Find an outlet if you don't have one, because that's self-care too. Whatever it is that you need, give it to yourself as best you can. Teach yourself that you are a priority. Teach yourself that you love you, that you are the source of your wholeness, your peace, your sense of safety, your sense of security, your sense of love. It's coming from you. The quality of that has always been coming from you. But it's time to lean in and do it consciously. So I hope that this little episode, this little introductory episode to the Tapping Club, inspires you to, just like I said, reprioritize you. Okay? And if you find that it's really difficult, like if me saying this both inspires you and also creates a lot of contraction in your body, tap through it. Tap through the points. Okay? I'm going to link a reference to the points in the episode in the show notes. You can look at it. Tap through the points and talk through that discomfort. Just talk through it, listen to yourself, and see what comes up. See what shakes loose, see what perspective kind of shifts a little bit. Because what happens when you tap through something, when you're tapping through it, let me see, let me find, not find, I'm sorry. Let me say it this way. When you're tapping through it, you're clearing up that energy, because every meridian point, like that's where the emotions kind of pool when they don't get processed, when they're not moving through the body. You're basically helping by tapping, you're sending this signal to your brain, and you're actually helping these emotions kind of pass through, disperse, and you're pulling your body out of fight or flight, out of stress mode. So that way you can actually think clearly. You're turning back on your prefrontal cortex, which helps you actually think fucking clearly and make really healthy decisions. Whereas when you're in that stress zone, you're not necessarily seeing things clearly. In the stress mode, in the fear mode, we're in that negative emotional space, it's easy to believe the worst, right? But as you tap and that energy starts to clear, you might not feel amazing right away. Maybe you will. Sometimes I feel a lift immediately. Sometimes it takes a couple days. But what starts to happen is your mind starts to open to other perspectives, truthful perspectives. Because let me tell you something, the fear perspective, the negative perspective, it's never going to be truth. You can delude yourself into creating that as an experience in your world that seems like truth, but that was never the actual truth. The truth was beyond that. It was on the other side of that. So tap through it, talk through it with yourself, listen to yourself. This is also holding space, right? You're holding space and you're processing and releasing negative emotion. And if you do it long enough, however long it takes you, sometimes it takes 5 minutes, sometimes it takes an hour. It just depends on what you're tapping through. Sometimes it takes a couple rounds, a couple days in a row. But what starts to happen is that perspective that seems so real that, oh, nobody cares about me. I'm invisible. Nobody wants me. I'm too much, blah, blah, blah. That stops making sense. Like, literally, without convincing yourself, it just stops making sense. It slowly starts to dissipate. And what's left there in its place is the fucking truth. It was always inside of you. It was just kind of covered up under some crap, under some emotion that needed to be released. And you start to realize, like, wow, actually, like, I'm a high value person. Like, I'm actually really special. I'm actually really needed. I just needed to see that for myself. I needed to recognize that within myself. I don't need anybody else to tell me or prove it to me. I just needed to hold space enough for myself to see it. And then boom, look, you're more confident. Look at that. Oh, wow, look at that. You're more resilient. That is what's going to feed your soul. Is self-witnessing, unconditionally self-loving, and prioritizing yourself. So go do that. Make a plan. Get it into action. Tell me what you're going to do. Let's talk about it. I want to support you. But okay, my friends, that's all I got for you for this first episode. If you can't tell, I'm coming down from an upgrade. I call sicknesses upgrades because the germ theory shit don't make no sense to me. So I'm coming down from an upgrade, coming out of it. The sun is starting to shine again. I got a little stuffy nose. So I'm going to go below that nose and trust that you are now your top priority, that you are making space for yourself, whatever that looks like, whatever that means for you. I'm proud of you in advance. I love you in advance. And I'll catch you guys in the next episode. Make sure that you hit subscribe. We're going to be tapping together on this podcast as well. And we're going to just keep it real. We're going to talk about the real shit. And we're going to talk about the truth underneath it all. So I love you guys. If you ever have a topic you want me to address or you want to talk a little bit deeper in or even tap on, just go to thetapping.club. That's the website, thetapping.club, and submit for the podcast. Go to contact and let me know what you want to talk about. I also have, just FYI, I also have some pre-recorded tapping rituals that you can tap along with already available on the website if you want to get started that way, if you're brand new to tapping. And I also do private one-on-ones for EFT. We clarify what the hell's underneath. We reset it with tapping. And then we align you with the fucking truth. So that way you can be in your power. So you can be your whole ass self because that's what the world needs. But all right, I will catch you in the next episode.